What's going on, everybody?
Hello.
Howdy. It is another episode of Cruisin the Planet. However, we've been off like a week or two.
Like 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. Like we definitely do need to get a ring light right here.
Yeah,
my face
for sure.
is like. So
we need to see your beautiful face.
We definitely apologize for the inconvenience of my face.
No, that is a
true.
convenience.
That is very
convenience
problematic.
to see your face.
You should put your hat down.
That would make it worse, actually.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely would.
Take your hat off. See your beautiful hair.
Oh yeah.
But today's episode of Cruisin the Planet, we're gonna be discussing, cancel culture and how we feel about some of the celebrities today, and how let's just talk about cancel culture and see who is for, who is against, how far are you into it. Yeah. Do you believe some people shouldn't have been canceled? Do you believe some people should have been canceled? You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to get at, guys.
We have a special guest here today too.
Who do we have?
Super
He's not very
guest.
special.
He's
amazing.
He got fired the other day.
I didn't get fired.
He didn't. He quit.
He
said, "I hate this job. I'm quitting."
Well, actually, Kelly.
He's just in denial.
Actually, Kelly, I corrected. I said he's not special because he's amazing. You didn't hear me though, so you should have kept your ear holes open.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Actually, you're the one who responded to me, so
Skill
personally,
issue.
would have been your problem.
Skill issue.
Interrupting me after I tried to make a statement.
Wow, guys, what about the weather out today? What do you think
changing
of
the
that?
subject.
Wasn't I on the last episode of Cruisin the Planet?
I think
you
so.
were.
So am I really a guest?
There's been no absence.
There has been no
well,
absence. I'm just still here.
I guess we're all special then.
Although I will say,
special.
hello,
My mommy
it's
has
been a
told me
while
I'm special.
since I've been present on Cruisin.
Yeah.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has, hasn't it?
Kelly's the guest.
No.
Two guests.
No.
You're the guest.
I'm the guest.
Returning. I'm making
Correct.
my
Kelly's
You're
grand
making the return, and I'm
Kelly's
just saying
just
goodbye.
there.
Kelly's just here, relegated to the corner.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should have
Kelly's
gotten
in the
here
corner.
earlier.
I was talking to plants and doing my job.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like a skill issue.
How's the job search going, Tyler?
Drum roll.
How's
drum
the
roll.
job search for you?
Drum roll.
I have a job currently, and I have one for after I graduate.
Wait, ready? Tyler, tell us how the job search is. Ready?
Yeah, how's the job search?
It's fine.
Which is
What's up, bro?
so funny.
That's what's up, man.
Okay.
Anyways, who is someone that? Let's start off with talking about like.
What
who
is
is-
cancel culture? For
Yeah.
you?
let's
What
start with
is?
that.
That's a good one. What
Is
is
it
cancel culture?
Someone did something wrong or bad, and no one likes it, and so canceled. Like
Talking to the mic,
Not
homie.
wrong.
Oh yeah. There's a YouTuber called Call Me Carson. I'm sure y'all have heard of
I
this.
have heard of him.
You don't know Call Me Carson?
No.
Let
Okay,
go of the
he was
mic.
really big. He was
What?
really big.
Wait,
and,
wait.
I don't
What
know,
type
water.
of YouTuber?
He's like video game,
YouTuber.
comedic video game YouTuber.
Okay.
He hung out with like not really hung out, but like he made videos kind of with Swagger Souls and Raccoon Eggs. Y'all
Okay.
remember?
Okay.
Dang, I sound
Oh,
really
I do actually
loud.
think I know who you're talking about. Actually.
But I thought he was really funny, and then unfortunately, he was 19 at the time, and then he did some bad things sexually with a underage girl, like that was 17, and he got canceled. And he's off the face of the internet.
See, that's a valid
No one-
cancel.
It
That's
is
a
valid cancel, and I agree he should totally be canceled.
There
and
is, yeah.
That is cancel culture, but that's one side of cancel culture. I feel like.
Yeah.
Then there's another side of cancel culture where it's like
They don't really deserve it.
some people I don't think deserve it. Like
Like, give an
not
example.
really people, but maybe like remember like Aunt Jemima, the syrup.
And
Oh, yeah, that's
oh,
true,
gotta
that's
love
true.
her. She's
like
great.
why? I don't understand
No,
why about that.
I did read up on that before this podcast, and it had to do something with, I guess maybe when
Was it like a racial thing?
it's
maybe?
definitely racial. It has to do with something. I think I read something like around that time they had something called like a mama.
Mama.
They would
mama?
a mama,
Like
and,
a syrup.
and I guess that was like a slave who would cook for people.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Was that
Like
the slave on the bottle? Because I
And
know those.
so-
I think if I'm remembering correctly about the Aunt Jemima thing, the whole thing about it is like obviously there was like the slaves who worked in the cotton fields and all that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
then there were like the ones in the houses that like helped with the child rearing and like the housework and all that kind of stuff, and because of that and the way that relationship kind of functioned when they were raising the children, as well as like media that came out in largely just like the 1900s, there was this racial stereotype of like the black auntie who kind of got like put in there for like the wise old black woman who would help and not be
I
like a
understand.
character of her own. She's just there as a plot device to move things along. And I think
That was the character on the bottle. Aunt Jemima.
it's a character archetype. It's not like
Yeah,
a specific,
it's
like,
not
one
like-
character.
Is it like a
Exactly.
stereotype?
Yes.
Stereotype,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
There's
It makes sense, but I feel like it's like part of the brand, that makes Aunt Jemima, but not the slave part, obviously. but like,
Yeah.
you
The
know,
thing-
it's like classic old lady cooking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah,
like
it's just
I-
You know,
it's just a
that
lady
makes
cooking.
with
It's nice.
with that being said, I could totally understand Aunt Jemima, and I
I
understand
do.
her,
It does make
being
sense because I
canceled,
didn't know that backstory.
but I don't understand Miss Butterworth being canceled.
I
It's the
forgot
same.
about
It's
that
the
one.
same idea, but Miss Butterworth has no face. It's just like Miss Butterworth is just a shape of a lady.
There was a
Was
butter called Lando Lakes, and an Indian Native American guy was on the logo.
Oh,
And
another thing
they
is,
had
like,
to totally take off that character on the box too. Same
Yeah.
thing with
I don't
you
know.
were just talking about.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that, but I think another kind of maybe bordering on good example would be like the Washington Redskins, how they like rebranded and
yeah,
everything like
that's
that.
Oh, yeah, for
that
sure.
is
Because
true.
like
I
even
forgot
just
about
like
that.
the name Redskins was kind of like Native people were like, hey,
that's not
cool.
Mm,
Can we not?
Got it.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that was Redskins were around for so long until they finally, I guess said something about it.
yeah,
Because
they were around for.
I mean, yeah, but like
Is that a
Native
football
people
team,
were pretty much never quiet about it. It's
Yeah.
just that the team didn't.
care.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
yeah, for sure.
Only the current cultural landscapes allowed it to make a big change.
Yeah. Are there any people that or anything that y'all know or can think of like that's a good example,
Chris
or
Brown.
y'all agree, or
Chris Brown got canceled before
Because he-
cancel culture became
he
a
hit
word.
his wife,
and
that's
I think it's
understandable.
deserved. I am nothing if not a Chris Brown hater.
I don't like Chris Brown either.
I like Chris
anyone.
Brown.
Anyone who beats their wife deserves
I
to
don't
not
think him
be
and
famous.
Rihanna were married at the
I
time.
agree.
I think they were just
All I know is
together.
that he beat a girl, beat a wife. Even
It
if
was-
your wife or not, you
it
should
was-
not hit a lady.
It was Rihanna, and like he was awful to her.
Yeah,
and there are people
it's
who
terrible.
still sit out there and like try and defend it.
No.
Honestly, can I say something about the whole Chris Brown situation that I look
Go ahead.
back and think it's kind of funny. So I don't know if you guys know, in 2009 there was this wonderful TV show called Glee.
Oh yeah,
I watched like one episode of that.
so wonderful.
Glee is awful. It is a tragedy of a TV show. It's a car wreck. I'd love it. It's a guilty pleasure show for me. But speaking of guilty pleasures, is they did an episode on like guilty pleasure music and all that kind of stuff, and it's touching on like cancel culture again in that kind of time before we even really have like a word or a phrase for it. And so basically they're just supposed to kind of perform on songs that either they're kind of like embarrassed that they like or that they know they kind of shouldn't support the artist. And so this one character in there, his name is Jake. He ends up being like the younger brother of like one of the main characters from the first couple seasons who's just not around anymore, and he was a weird character and I could talk about that for hours. But he wants to do a song by Chris Brown because he says in the exact words, he's like, I can't stand the guy like because he did this and he is awful, but like the music kind of bops, so it's a guilty pleasure. I feel guilty that I like the music. And I'm not kidding when it's like one of the B plots of the episode, and it's like all of the girls from like the main cast that are still, because it's at a time when like it's split between two places, the show, and so it's like in the one place that like this is happening, it's like all of the girls from that side of the cast just like converge on him and have like this faux intervention where they're just like, if you perform a Chris Brown song, we'll like kill you or something.
Is it that deep, bro?
Dang.
And so he turns around and he's like, fine, and then does a song by Bobby Brown instead, and it's a good cover. Like it's a funky little scene. He does his little dance. He sings his little song. The actor's got a nice voice, so it was fine. But like then they're all sitting there talking about it afterwards, and it was like Bobby Brown got Whitney Houston hooked on drugs and blah blah blah, and you're awful for
Wow.
liking these people's music. And he's sitting there and he's like, the whole point of this is singing guilty pleasure songs. I don't like that I like this music, but it's good music.
Mhm.
And
I feel like a lot of the times people blow things up for what it actually is, like in that situation.
Here's my thing on that is like under no circumstances will I ever voice support for Chris Brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
No excuse for that. I feel like when it comes to like the whole like Bobby Brown situation, like what they were talking about right there, because again, the whole guilty pleasures thing and that side of it was getting into cancel culture before that was even a thing. And they were like, oh, well, he got Whitney Houston hooked on drugs. And it's like, I'm not ever going to sit here and vilify people who do that kind of thing because
No, you get yourself hooked on drugs.
Well, not even
Well,
that, but like
that's-
addiction is like a disease. There's like a genetic component to it. It's like an actual like disease.
Mhm.
And so I'm not going to vilify people for that, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't necessarily think that that's kind of like a cancelable thing.
But you also have a decision to make. You can say yes, or you can say no.
Yeah, you gotta have
No,
a little
there-
responsibility. You know what I mean?
there is
If
a
all you
little
do
bit
is
of-
if
Care
all you
about
do is
yourself.
blame,
It is a
then-
little bit of both, I think.
I agree with you, Tyler. It's a little bit of both, where it's like people are gonna do stupid stuff. They're gonna try things that they probably shouldn't, and life is a series of mistakes, one after the other. People are gonna do stuff that they shouldn't, but
We're human.
in that kind of
True,
sense.
make
It's like
mistakes.
but I also get what you're saying because addiction, like there is a heavily hereditary component to it, which is why I personally stay away from a lot of that stuff because I know that I'm at a higher likelihood for something like that to happen.
God, please, no! No!
say no.
Yes,
Say
yes.
no.
Yes,
Good message.
I
We're
do
here to
think
spread the
that-
message.
when it comes to people who have maybe a genetic less tolerance to it, they have a greater responsibility to make sure to be careful about these things. I don't think it's necessarily important that they have to keep to it because just because it is more likely does not mean it is going to happen.
Yeah.
And as long as they are willing to take the right steps that it doesn't happen, then I think that they still have the right to be able to do something.
Yeah.
But
Is
it's
your-
all about the personal step to be able to do that.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think we're kind of getting a little off topic.
Yeah, let's wrap back to
Cancel culture.
cancel culture in generally. Now it's completely different because now it's
Did y'all know that or did you?
not go ahead.
Do y'all know that they tried to cancel Mr. Beast for doing something good?
Yeah, Yeah, I heard that.
I have complicated feelings on Mr. Beast.
I do too.
I
It's really interesting.
because like yes, he is out there doing objectively good things for a lot of people, but the nature of his videos can lead to very, very exploitative conditions and everything like that.
And he makes a lot of
Especially-
money off of those videos.
Especially in the
Fair.
current economic climate, where it's like, yeah, he's doing all these things, all this like content, and like he's giving away a lot of good stuff, a lot of money and everything like that. And people are getting like increasingly more desperate because of the way the economy is kind of going right now, which it's just, it feels, that was loud. In my headphones. Sorry. It just feels a little weird. I'm not his biggest fan.
And
I
that's
don't-
fine.
I think it was Jacksepticeye. I think the gaming YouTuber Jacksepticeye, a couple weeks ago or something, there was a whole thing on Twitter with him where people were really upset with him because someone asked how he felt about Mr. Beast, and he was like, and kind of went to a little in depth about how those videos can kind of be a little like off, a little icky, a little like there's
And
something
another thing-
there, and people were like, oh well, Mr. Beast is just like such a great guy, and it's like,
I don't personally, I don't think it's necessarily right to fault someone for doing good things. I do
yeah,
have an understanding
true.
that exploiting people for gain in such a way is kind of wrong. I do agree with that. But at the same flip of the hat, and at least from the event that I was talking about, where he helped
was it the people with the eyesight?
yeah, it was the eyesight thing, and that was a little pushed a little too far, I think. But that's 1,000 people that got to see better.
I think
I understand
the
that.
benefits of Mr. Beast and his videos and everything outweigh a lot of the negative impacts they can have.
Yeah.
And so like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, he should stop making videos, because I think the benefits outweigh negatives or potential
Exactly.
negatives or anything like that. But personally, I don't want to support him. I just
Hey, I don't watch his videos either. But
I get very
I
bad
stopped.
vibes.
I stopped watching Mr. Beast for long.
Don't matter if y'all stop, he's still making bread. Hope
He's
you
That's
know.
still
true.
getting
Yeah.
millions and
he
millions.
makes a lot of money
views.
even without the videos, if we're being honest.
No, like really.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast Burger, Feastables.
There's one on campus
a lot of
now.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. They
Crazy.
took
Hot Mess
The-
Express.
they took Hot Mess
and Shorty's
Express.
Chuck Wagon.
I could care less about that one, to be honest.
Okay, fair. They had really good tater tots though.
I feel
They,
like
they
food
were
trucks are
good.
just
They had a
expensive.
good like a chicken melt that was really good.
Their breakfast sandwiches were
But
fire.
yeah,
I waited 30 minutes for a $15 sandwich that was mid. At a
Yeah.
food
What
truck.
sandwich did you buy from them that was $15?
I don't know. It was like
okay, let's be
it was
honest.
like
Other
a-
than like crazy hair, it's all pretty expensive.
it's all food trucks are like. I mean, because it's like a small family-owned truck. like
Shorty's
business.
Chuck Wagon. The breakfast sandwiches were like
Like,
$4.
I don't think it was.
Okay, I don't know
Shorty's
about
truck
breakfast.
wagon.
Oh, see, I only got the breakfast sandwiches and the tater tots.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the meals.
Like
Oh.
an actual like lunch or.
See, I have a meal plan, so I went to the dining hall.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
But
Anyways,
Sorry.
I do have another person who this might be a little controversial, but I'm interested to see what you'll think about it. Joe Rogan a little while ago.
Oh, yeah.
He had who was it? A health expert on his podcast, and they were talking about COVID. And this is when COVID was like peak, like
popping.
it was popping.
yeah.
Oh, is this
Yeah.
the ivermectin thing?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe. But there's a dude on Spotify named Neil Young who took his music off of Spotify because he had a different opinion than Joe Rogan on the vaccine. Do y'all
Yeah.
remember that?
Oh, that's
And-
right.
and-
Because
and
Spotify
Neil
had that
Young-
exclusive deal, so a bunch of people were like, "Nope, can't support the
and
platform anymore."
Spotify had a choice, and Joe Rogan has 2 million monthly monthly streams, compared to Neil Young's like 1 million, 2 million. And all it was basically, and I was looking online trying to do some research, and I was trying to find exactly what Joe Rogan said, because I remember, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
And all of it was saying was misinformation, or like that's basically what it was saying. But all Joe Rogan was saying was like, he was just saying that he don't think his little kids should get the vaccine because they're too young. But a lot of people were like, no, get your kids your vaccine. And Neil Young was like, nope, give your kids a vaccine. Or else I'm gonna take my music off Spotify. And Joe Rogan almost got canceled for that. So I'm just curious what y'all have to say. Like, what are y'all's opinions on that?
Personally, for me, why do they have to do that? Like, just sharing the platform was caused this big issue.
Basically,
What it was specifically is that Spotify had they were going through with an exclusive deal for Joe Rogan, so
he only does it on Spotify.
he was on other platforms, and
Oh.
Spotify spent like a couple $1 million with a deal for Joe Rogan to get him exclusively just on the Spotify
Yeah.
platform. And so people weren't happy because Joe Rogan is a very, very, very controversial figure.
Oh,
I
okay.
love
This
Joe
other
Rogan.
guy who had even more followers,
Less.
or less.
No,
Joe Rogan at 2 million, the other guy at 1 million is what
Oh,
Brandon
okay.
said.
no, 200 million
Oh.
monthly streams compared to 2 million.
You did say 2 million.
No, 2 million. Neil Young had 2 million.
You said he had 1 million.
But
1 to 2 million.
Does not
I can't
matter.
remember the
Okay.
exact-
Neil
But
Young had
compared-
less.
No, it's literally like a
this
skyscraper.
is the real
a skyscraper.
misinformation.
A skyscraper compared to a trailer
Okay.
house.
For sure,
like,
yeah.
Literally.
So Neil Young had less.
Yes.
Way less.
Thank you.
Like,
That's-
substantially,
That's
yes.
the point I'm getting
Yes.
at.
Yeah, that's
the point. So this guy said he was going to take off his stuff from Spotify.
Because he had a different opinion than.
He wasn't the only one.
I mean, he's not the, obviously he's not the only
I don't
one.
know who else it was, but I remember other
It was
people
a
taking their
huge
stuff off
thing.
of Spotify. Like, it wasn't just him. It was like
There was a few
Yeah.
others.
And it was like a protest against this
Joe Rogan.
Rogan's ideology of
Joe Rogan's always been very, very controversial because
Yeah.
he does tend to say a lot of like.
things that most people don't agree with.
He-
I definitely don't agree
I
with
will
that
say
idea, but
the reason I brought up the ivermectin thing is because that was like a huge thing when it happened, because
What was that one about?
that was basically Trump, like in 2020, when we were still kind of like trying to get a grasp on the COVID stuff before there was really like a working vaccine that was being distributed and everything like that, said that ivermectin, which was like a horse deworming medicine, like worked to treat it. And so Joe Rogan also I think it was, I could be remembering this wrong. I remember he like had a thing on there about ivermectin. I can't remember if he disagreed or like agreed with it, but it was based on whatever he said. There were a lot of people that were angry with what he said about the ivermectin stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly how it went down. I just remember the vague concept of he talked about it. I can't remember if he was for or against it.
Like my thing about cancel culture is I think it has to do solely with opinions. And could y'all agree? It's
I would say in the modern definition and what it is.
but it depends. Call me Carson. That's different. That's like
Yeah,
factual. Like
think
but some
the
of
whole
it
thing-
could be like, I have a different opinion than you, and a lot like this group of people be like, no,
I think
you're
a
getting
lot of
canceled.
it could be watered down to opinions.
I think it started off as like a genuine thing because like the first
Yeah.
couple people you see in that culture about like all the canceling and stuff like that, you see people like Chris Brown, like Harvey Weinstein, people that are doing objectively really awful things and trying to take away this big platform. And it was meant for people who had influence, who had reputation and everything like that, because people didn't want them to have that influence and reputation because they were doing really awful stuff.
And that's understandable.
And that's completely understandable.
Yes.
I'm all for that. But because of the nature of the internet and how things get completely twisted on there, and because people are so chronically online about so many things,
Blue.
it has become this thing where
Bandwagoning.
we're canceling
bandwagoning.
completely normal people without reputation or influence. Like they're just completely
That's
normal
for something
people.
small.
Okay, I have a good example of this, and it has become like very opinion based and everything like that, because I will say it goes kind of into that whole thing on like TikTok where there's like a wider kind of
Demographic of
visualization of mental illness and how it affects people, especially things like ADHD and autism and everything like that. There was this girl, I want to say it was back in June or July or something like that. She's like a teenager. She's like 17 to 19, somewhere in that range, a little bit, kind of on the younger side, still a little bit like, and she has like ADHD or something. And something that ADHD people struggle with is like time blindness and like executive dysfunction and stuff like that. And so
Time blindness. What is that?
it's kind of when like you're a little less cognizant of time. It's like a whole thing.
It's like
Okay.
working so much on your homework you forget to go eat.
That's what I do all the time.
Not really.
No?
So you
No,
have
it's
autism?
I don't know. It's
No.
different. It's kind of weird to explain. I know what it is. I just oh god, I forget exactly what it is. Let me try and see if I can't Google it super duper fast.
That sounds kind of like what it is.
What other sound effects do you have while she's doing that?
If you know, you know.
Got that one. Got this one.
And if you don't know,
The
now you
Wi-Fi in
know.
here. The inability to recognize when time has passed or estimate how long something will take. Right. So
So, like what I said, but plus
kind of that's like tip of the iceberg where it's like those giant iceberg
it's
memes.
like half the iceberg.
Yeah. So it's like that. And she
horn.
was talking about how she had been talking to like a prospective employer or something about reasonable accommodations for time blindness and everything like that. And admittedly, when I saw the video, I kind of thought it was a joke. Because don't get me wrong, I sometimes struggle with it myself in terms of just like sometimes I just get lost and caught up in things, but like I don't think it's time blindness, but like I make sure that I have reasonable alarms and make sure that I get to things early just in case something goes wrong. Like there's ways around it and ways to kind of like help yourself with that kind of issue because it is a genuine issue. But like I didn't really think about the video beyond that other than that, okay, it's just a kid kind of like trying to figure out the world, trying to, feel it out and everything like that. And she got torn apart, stitches and comments. People were vitriolic and like super condescending about that's not how the real world works. And it's like, first of all, can we give like a little bit of grace to kids?
Bro,
I feel
she's
like
not in the real world, bro.
true, but like
Yeah.
we have to give kids the space to kind of figure that stuff out. And like, yeah, kids are going to be a little cringe and a little weird and a lot wrong a lot of the time. We've all been there, even here in this room. I'm sure I know you three people.
I'm perfect.
Oh, getting accommodations.
but like, people were like genuinely trying to sit there and like cancel her. And it's like, first of
Because
all,
they have nothing better to do.
she's like a
It's so
nobody
sad.
from the middle of Minnesota. I actually don't know where she is, but like I'm just somewhere,
Yeah.
She's like a nobody from the middle of Minnesota, and people were just being so mean. And it's like, okay, yeah, she said something a little stupid, for lack of a better word, but like that's not a reason to sit there and just like
Vilify her.
cancel her and all that kind of stuff. It's stupid. So like, yeah, it kind of started as like a genuine thing, cancel culture did, and now it's just kind of like
It was cool at first. Let's
Yeah.
cancel. And then it was like, oh, please don't cancel me. You know what I mean? It's like,
Here's my thing with cancel culture is that cancel culture at its core is a concept that is really good. it gives power to people, and it gives to take down greater authority or people with power using people with less. It's a great concept in its core, but in practice, it can be very easily misused, either taking against people who have very little power, just attacking them,
Goes both
or potentially going people and just bandwagoning until it's taken completely out of proportion.
Yep, I agree. So it's not good, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? It's
Kind of in a neutral thing where it just kind of
I'm
is
like-
a case
I'm
by
very-
case situation.
Yeah,
hey,
it's very case by case.
If I have to cancel a pedophile, I will do that. But I'm not going to cancel someone who said a bad word. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Slay.
Yeah. See,
Exactly.
Tyler, Travis, what do you think? Is there anyone else you can think of who got canceled?
Well, there's a few I could think of right now.
Name
I
off
think
a
it would
few.
be best if we went ahead and just talked
Okay.
about it. That's because I have a list of like 9 people.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So
What is it? Another one that pops to mind is the
just
whole
talk
thing
about
with
it.
Blizzard a few years
Oh,
ago. You
yeah.
remember that?
Cassidy.
Yeah, McCree.
Yep.
Because they named him after a real person, and then female
real
employees were like, "Hey, he's actually like."
Yep. He's assaulting me.
He's
Yep, yep.
and multiple of them
Okay,
came
right.
forward, and they were like, and Blizzard was like, "Haha, it's fine."
Who's McCree anyway?
His name is what did they even end up renaming him? Cassidy.
Cassidy.
So guys,
Cancel, no
I know you
cancel.
cannot see this, so but it's all good because you don't need to see it.
Thanks.
The first
Stick a
person
monitor right there.
we have on this list of cancel or no cancel.
It's a pretty
Oh,
PowerPoint too.
And we're gonna, this is how we're gonna do it, guys. How
we get
cancel or
points?
no? Listen, this is how it's gonna work. How cancel or no cancel works is
Wait, are we just like majority voting?
okay. This is how it's gonna work. This is how cancel or no cancel is gonna work. I'm gonna tell you who it is, and we're pretty much you're gonna say cancel, no cancel, and the majority of that vote is what we're gonna label that person as or thing.
Democratically elected canceling.
However,
Technically, that is what it is.
however, we're gonna talk about it first.
Wait, before we
should
vote.
discuss.
No, we're gonna vote first, talk about it, and then
Okay.
vote after.
What if we
Vote
don't know?
first.
what they
Wait,
got
did you say
canceled?
vote
vote
again.
twice?
Yeah, vote first.
Double vote. Okay.
vote
okay.
first.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it, and if you
Immediate
change it, we're gonna
reaction,
vote again
delayed
to
reaction.
see if anyone changed their mind.
Okay.
All right, I like
Got
that.
it.
I like
Okay,
that.
I think that's good.
Okay.
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 All right, number one, man. You got Kanye West.
I'm gonna say I don't know what he did, so I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say cancel.
You know, I think I want to say no. I want to say no.
I used to like Kanye. I know he's going crazy right now, but I'll give him a chance.
How about you? What's Kelly?
I'm trying to
It's up
rack
to
my
you.
brain for anything I know about Kanye West.
Yeah.
Have y'all not? Oh, let me. Okay, so
Yee.
I don't
Yeah,
know the
Yee.
situation.
this is what
Yee.
recently happened with Kanye. If you guys don't know,
Yeah, please
he
do. Please do.
he was I'm not sure where he was, but he has a new wife right now.
Oh, the public.
Oh.
Yeah, he has a new wife. He was in Greece, I believe. He has a new wife, and his wife looks just like Kim Kardashian. First of all,
with short hair.
and yeah, exactly. And so Kanye and her were seen in public
doing the dirty.
doing the dirty on a boat in Greece. And they've been wearing like these like clothes that are showing everything
Well, not Kanye, but
pretty
his
much.
wife.
Like
literally- literally.
Kanye's
Okay.
whole butt cheek was out,
No, like it was tape
taped down his butt.
down the crack.
Like
Okay.
it's like everything is showing, but like the
actual-
Can
actual.
I ask
tape
you a
on the
question?
nipples.
How'd
Yeah.
they get these photographs?
Word.
This wasn't just like they were on a
Wait.
they were on
Well,
Wait.
there was a
Yeah.
there was a blog. There was a guy who recorded it, and this is from his what he said. He said he thought it was just a bum that was doing some nasty stuff on the boat, so he was gonna record and report him, and then he turns around, it's Kanye.
It's literally
Wait,
Kanye.
were they
somehow I doubt
docked
that.
or were they on the water?
They were on the
They,
water.
no, they were on the water in the
Okay.
boat,
Well, that's a little less.
Hold on.
But there was also
So
someone
they
on
were
the boat
out
with
in
them.
the water.
but it's a little canoe. It's not like they're not in private
Oh,
at
this
all.
Oh, I
wasn't
thought
a
it was
yacht?
like a
I
covered
thought this was a
boat.
yacht.
No cover, nothing. Just a
Oh,
little
I thought it
canoe.
was,
Not a canoe, but like this. It's like a little boat, small boat.
I don't know, man. public indecency is kind of like weird. Definitely
Yeah.
kind of weird.
I mean,
Definitely more than a little illegal,
gonna
but like
do it.
not necessarily like
You're just crazy now, though.
cancelable.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's
Just do it
cancelable.
inside.
I don't know, man. There's
Do it out-
kids everywhere. It's a
Wanna
tourist
do
spot.
it, do it
Was it
outside.
tourist
Kid,
spot?
that's a tourist spot.
Do it on like a mountain. where
There's
no
kids
one's around.
everywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
Definitely weird. Definitely.
It's right on the line. It's definitely right on the line.
I
But
definitely don't like that, but like
it's just like Kanye's cool, but
I love Kanye, man. Don't get me wrong. I love Kanye.
I just don't think he should
I
be
feel
canceled.
like if we
for
took
that.
the fame away,
He
just
says
be
the
a
most
person doing-
stupidest stuff, though, man. He said that. I think he went on. We talked about this before. He went on the news like 6 years ago or something like that, and he said something about how like Jewish people. No, someone hates the
that's
Jews.
Right.
What did he say? He said.
he got really anti-Semitic for a few months.
But he's look. He just says
few
he
months.
speaks his intrusive thoughts. That's all I'm gonna say.
it's funny. It's so funny.
I mean,
definitely
I don't know.
It's so
I
funny.
don't have anti-Semitic intrusive thoughts.
Well, that's him.
All right, canceled or no, Travis?
I'm sticking with cancel because of what I just happen to agree. I used to give him the benefit of the doubt, but now it just keeps adding on,
I
adding
don't
It's
know.
on.
like
I
it's like a gray area.
I keep
to
just
me.
hearing weird stuff about Kanye, so like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go on the safe side. I'm gonna vote cancel.
Tyler,
Just like a preventative cancel.
can I be neutral? I
That's
don't
no
wanna say-
cancel.
I
Neutral is
wanna
no
cancel,
cancel.
but I don't. I
it's
want
the
to, but I
bystander
don't want
effect.
to.
Doing nothing is in favor of. I don't know.
Hey, that means I don't have to do anything. You can just let other people.
Okay, Switzerland. That's how World War II happened.
That's not.
I want World War
Whoa.
Three.
I'm not sure
Just
that's
kidding.
exactly correct.
I know. I'm just
Switzerland.
kidding.
Here, I'll be with Randon on this one. I'm a passerby.
I'm just
No,
like
you can't do that. It's cancel or no cancel.
no. I'm
That's
saying no.
lame.
That's. Well, isn't
Two
that,
no cancels, two cancels.
Wait,
It's
do we have
even.
like a coin to flip or
It's neutral.
How do we proceed now?
I'm gonna say no just because I'm neutral. That's
Oh,
why.
Okay, word.
We'll let Facebook decide.
He's right on that line. though.
Okay,
He's like
guys.
bending the line.
You're on thin ice, buddy.
Number
literally
two,
on the
we talked about already a little bit, but
Yeah.
Miss Butterworth. And I mean, I am okay. I'm cool canceling Aunt Jemima, but I am not cool canceling Miss Butterworth. I am
It's
not
syrup.
No.
I vote just to skip this one entire.
But
It's
why?
syrup.
What
cool.
was
What do
the
you mean?
story
This is my
behind-
childhood. It's just
What's the
syrup.
story
Well,
behind?
here's my thing: is
the-
that okay? There was the story behind it, and that's kind
what
of
is?
true.
Does anyone know the story behind it?
but look at Miss Butterworth. She
Well, I'm talking about.
I
Aunt
can't
Jemima,
look at
mind me.
anything, Travis.
she is just. You're right.
Can't really turn it.
But like,
That's not helpful.
no, you just have to.
It does that from time to time.
No, if it'll move, you move the screen, leave it where it was, and then it'll come back on.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like,
Are we,
bring it
are we
forward.
screenless now?
No, we
Yeah.
just need to stick another screen.
We just
Look,
need
I
to
can
right
take a
there.
picture of the screen and show it to
Right
you.
there.
Please, yeah.
Like, do you want me to take
That'll
a
work.
picture of Miss
It's
Buttersworth?
just Miss,
Yeah.
a Miss Butterworth bottle pointing to some pancakes.
But Miss Butterworth, she's that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like
Why
that's
was
my-
Miss
It's a
Butterworth
syrup
canceled?
bottle, man.
Maybe it was in
Nah,
protest to Aunt
nah.
Jemima.
Okay,
It's
but
not
does
just
anyone know the
syrup
story
bottle.
of why Miss Butterworth was canceled?
No, actually,
It's the same thing as when they canceled Miss
So Miss
Aunt
Butterworth
Jemima.
was a slave? I thought she was white.
Well, Miss
Yeah,
Butterworth is
or
not
was she
real.
Whitewashed.
Oh.
What are y'all talking about?
But
Well, what's
why
the-
did Miss
what's the-
Butterworth get canceled? Like,
Yeah,
why?
why was
With the same reason for the other one, the other.
So she was a
syrup.
slave.
she was a slave?
It's
No, the other one
syrup.
wasn't a slave.
That's what Kelly said.
No.
No, I said
Kelly said that
the
it's a
mascot
stereotype.
thing was based on like a stereotype.
Yeah, you guys need to
Oh,
listen.
I
Open
see.
your ears. What do you guys say about
It's
that? huh?
syrup. You can't cancel something that's not a person.
I think
I-
you
Well,
I
it
don't
can.
think-
happened.
I don't think it's fair.
Because
I
number
don't
three.
think- I'm saying no.
Okay, we're gonna skip this one, I guess, because you guys are being
two is
complicated.
no.
I don't know, man. It's
I say no
syrup.
cancel. It's
No,
what do you
I
mean
say
it's
no.
syrup?
It's syrup.
It's-
You can't cancel.
They did though.
syrup.
They did.
Who?
They're
Who
taking-
is they? That's so ambiguous.
The men are they're taking the man is taking Miss
The
Butterworth
man.
off the shelf and they're putting just a random bottle.
Butterworth.
No, it's just a bottle. It says like the same font. It says just like syrup or something like that. So trash. But
Consumers perceive Miss Butterworth's packaging as racist and problematic.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh.
The first thing that popped up when I put it in Google.
That's crazy. I think that's crazy talk. It's Miss Butterworth. Come on now.
I don't think.
Miss Butterworth is her name's
She's
not
just-
racist at all.
It's a nanny. It's just a nanny, a nice person. It's a mascot.
There's nothing stereotypical about her. At all.
I don't.
Why?
I don't know enough about this to.
I say
have
no
any
cancel.
sort of opinion.
What do you say,
Syrup.
Randy?
I
No.
agree. No cancel.
Ms. Butterworth, I'm sorry, should be gone in a few months, but we love her. Number 3 have Logan Paul, and the Japan incident.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
It's a
I'm
picture of
going
him in
with-
the
yes.
Toy Story hat in the Suicide Forest.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's the thing
Yes.
about the thing, because like first of all, it is my opinion you should not be traveling abroad to a different country that has like such a high context culture without doing a little bit of reasonable research on where you're going, right? Like if you're gonna go to Japan, you should look up how to do things. You can't just waltz in there and think you know everything, because you're gonna end up doing something that's just like not cool, right? So first of all, if you're traveling, do a little bit of research. I feel like it's not the most egregious thing to say that, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you real quick. Before we dive deep, just without anyone's before talking about it, is it cancel or no cancel?
Cancel.
Yes.
Cancel.
Cancel.
I say cancel as well. Keep going.
I say it for both Paul brothers, actually.
Oh wow. I can agree with you on Jake too.
I think they're both terrible people.
Yeah.
If I full disclosure,
I agree.
full
What about
full
you, Travis
disclosure.
Paul?
I was gonna cancel. Oh me. And I was gonna cancel.
Wait, we should vote on Travis. I vote cancel. No,
I was gonna
okay.
cancel Jake just because I feel like he's a bad brother to Logan. There's not really a real
Okay, I don't-
talk trash about each other all the time.
I don't think you should cancel someone just because they're a bad brother.
I definitely would.
Unless they're like, how bad is this brother? If they're just like
True.
They talk trash about each other all
talking
the time.
I don't think you should cancel someone.
I think
for
you
talking
should. It's not a
trash.
brotherhood. It's not a real brotherhood. If you're talking trash about your brother, talking bad upon your brother to someone else.
Their culture,
Yeah,
their
no,
life
I
is just
understand that.
different.
I understand
Yeah.
that reasoning, but I don't think that's the same thing as canceling.
Yeah.
Not showing your,
Yeah.
not showing your support.
But like
I don't think that's worth canceling for that.
back to the Japan incident. If you do like the barest research on Japan, suicide rates are pretty high there. There's like a lot of stuff revolving around it, even in just popular media and everything like that. It's very apparent, right? There's the whole thing with like taking your shoes off before you jump off of something. Like that's like a piece of symbolism that is like pretty heavily associated with Japanese culture and all that. People know about the suicide forest. It's a whole thing. Like it is known, right?
Yeah.
And so doing the barest modicum into research would tell you what the suicide forest is and give you an idea that, hey, maybe you shouldn't be recording anything in there. Like at a certain point, it just shows a level of disrespect and just lack of any kind of thought
I agree.
process.
I agree.
Mm.
And the
I
fact that
disagree.
Showing a
he and the
dead
fact that he
body.
tried to film that like apology video where he's just like sobbing on camera,
It's
it's
funny,
Fake.
bro. It's like every YouTuber does that though.
it's
bro.
so unsympathetic. It's so unsympathetic.
Who's the girl that did the one with the ukulele?
Colleen Ballinger.
Yeah, Miranda sings.
She's the worst in the world.
What the?
Yeah,
All right.
pretty much.
Ooh, that Colleen Ballinger stuff is rough.
All right. Anyway, I think we should go to the next person. Logan Paul's definitely canceled.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but
This is
yeah.
Logan or Jake?
Yep.
I
Both.
can never
Canceled.
remember.
Canceled.
Both.
Let's see what's next.
I also just think that.
Yeah. So up next we have Will Smith.
Are
Slapping.
we talking about the Oscar slap?
Yes, we are talking about the Oscar
Okay.
slap.
Who's
Okay.
getting canceled? Will Smith or Chris Rock? Who are you?
I think
Will Smith.
I vote Will Smith.
I think
Yeah,
that's who
I
we're
think
talking
Will
about.
Smith.
I
It was
think
hilarious, bro.
I think people blew that way out of proportion.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a
Dude,
deal.
I
everyone
don't
in
think
the
it was that
whole
deep.
United States was talking about that.
It's the stupidest thing.
Every
It's
single
the
person.
Stupidest thing.
It was a funny
Okay.
joke, actually.
It was so funny.
It
The
does
joke
kind
was
of feel like a
hilarious.
stunt
I
sometimes.
kind of get
Keep my
where
wife
Chris Rock was
sweet.
coming from because there's no way he could have possibly known that what's her name?
Whatever. her
The
name is.
wife.
I don't know.
I don't know her name.
Jada.
Miss
Jada.
Smith.
Jada.
They're not even
Pinkett
together no more. Yeah, right.
Yeah. There's no
crazy.
way. There's no way. Chris Rock could have known she had a condition that was causing that hair loss. However, I think it is because of those reasons that when you are making jokes like that, you should go after aspects of people that they choose. Like if you're doing joking roasts like that, go after like aspects of people like something that people choose, not the things they can't control.
Yeah.
Right? If someone can fix something in 5 minutes, okay, free to make a joke. They got something stuck in their teeth, haha, funny.
Yeah.
If they don't have teeth, don't make a joke about it.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
that
valid.
simple.
Yeah.
Like just don't make jokes about things like that people can't change and or that you don't know anything about because you don't know what someone's going through. There was one time I was out at a store, someone made a kind of similar joke about my mom. and she had been going through chemo and didn't have hair at the time. Her hair was like her pride and joy when she still had it. She took such good care of it. It's such a big part of my childhood, was like learning all of that hair care stuff from her.
Yeah.
It's one of the only good memories and good thoughts that I really have of her. She was crushed overhearing that comment in the store about her hair loss because it had been something she had been really struggling with because of the chemo.
Yeah.
So it is understandable.
I get
understandable.
why why Will Smith did it, why he would want to be like defensive in that
Defensive of
situation,
this.
because like, yeah, it's kind of a it's a crap situation to be in. Like,
Yeah.
it's, you know, but I think dealing with it like that might not have been the best, but I also, again, just think people blew it so totally stupidly out of proportion.
I think he's a very passionate person.
But he laughed about it too. It's
Just a
funny to
meme.
me.
It was
It's
just a
like
meme.
he
It was
laughed about it.
hilarious.
But I mean, he might have laughed in a way that's like, haha, you mother. You know, like that. You.
I don't
the
know.
slap itself was like,
It looks so fake.
it was
Dude,
like,
the
I
slap
think
looks
it,
so
it was,
fake.
It was so fake. It was.
I think maybe like during the action, he kind of like, oh man, I probably shouldn't be doing this.
I thought it was fake when I saw it at first.
I
It's
did
like,
too.
ah, it's
I
fake.
don't
It
know
probably
if it
is
was
fake.
fake.
It probably
what,
is
but it
fake, dude.
People
definitely didn't
react out of
feel-
like
They're
heat
all
of the moment
actors.
stuff in the time. That's why there's a whole category of stuff that's like crimes of passion and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. People
Yeah,
get
yeah.
really wrapped up in their emotions. I
Bro, you
think
gotta-
playing devil's advocate, I think both sides have a point.
Yeah.
I do not think it's that serious.
I think
not
all
that
the
deep.
time both sides do have a point. Most of the time, both sides. do.
So we forgot
Just
to
get
we forgot to vote first.
Cancel.
But
That seems to be a trend.
I
Cancel Will
say
Smith.
no.
I'm neutral on
I
this.
say no cancel.
I say
say
no
no
cancel.
cancel.
I'm neutral. I don't think it matters.
So no cancel.
All
Yeah.
right, no cancel.
Yeah.
No cancel.
No cancel.
No cancel. Okay.
Who is
Moving
this?
on.
Someone told me about this. I think Taylor, when she used to work, she mentioned this girl. I don't know who she is.
Who? What's,
No, this is random
don't-
skip
I
if
don't-
we
what's
don't
the
know.
name say?
I didn't put a name on it. She wears like beanie. It says "neat dude."
Oh my god.
Why
Who is-
isn't it labeled?
Oh, because well, I anticipated Taylor to be on this episode,
Jenna
but she's not working no more.
Oh, Jenna Marbles.
Jenna Marbles. I don't know anything about her.
Exactly what happened with the Jenna Marbles situation because I didn't even watch her and this was all I heard about for
Cancel or no
months
cancel?
after-
Cancel or no cancel?
No cancel. It's the
Okay.
stupidest thing.
How about you, Brandon?
It's the
I
stupidest
have
thing.
no
I don't know
clue.
either.
I don't know.
She had fish. Exotic fish. She had exotic fish and did not take care of them in the proper manner. She had them in, I think it was a tank that was too small for that specific breed of exotic fish, and people tore her apart so much so that she no longer makes content on the
my
internet.
God.
For fish, bro.
fish.
That's
Didn't
crazy.
Shay really like Jenna Marbles?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about Jenna Marbles beyond this whole fish situation.
Fishy situation.
It's stupid.
What fish were they?
Look, people could have been nice, but like, hey, did you know
Were-
that
were they
that
koi
tank is
fish?
not
Some
good?
people-
you
some
should.
people
I
did do
recommend
that.
you do this.
No, get a different take.
She made a 40-minute apology video about fish and then left YouTube.
Like, come on, people just have like, people just don't know how to be nice, especially
People-
over the internet. Whenever you don't have to
It's
show
a-
your
it's-
identity.
It's like blowing things out of proportion.
No cancel. Jenna Marbles is
No cancel.
off living her life with her dogs and her
What?
fish, I guess.
Why
We
is this
have
guy?
Kevin Hart
For what?
up
Hart.
next.
For what?
Do y'all know what happened with Kevin Hart?
Who's
Go ahead.
Kevin Hart?
You don't know
Kevin
what happened?
Hart, the small guy that always
Y'all
messes
know
with The
Kevin
Rock.
Hart?
What?
He's a
Come look,
comedian
come
who
look.
acts with
I'm not
with
getting
The
up
Rock.
again. I'm just.
You don't know who Kevin Hart is?
Heart shot.
What you get?
You know, Travis,
You're
you're
having a
being very
ball with that.
anti-woman right now.
You're a
Anti-woman.
Yeah.
Whoa,
That
that's
is
not-
blowing things out of proportion.
We're canceling
you
That's
now.
the
You're
point. anti-man.
We're all
right now.
clipping. We're all clipping. I need to turn each other down. Dang, clippers.
That's enough.
Kevin
That's
Hart.
enough of that.
So the thing about Kevin Hart is everyone loves Kevin Hart. Funny dude.
So funny.
But he did cheat on his wife, and that was a huge deal a few years
I
ago.
didn't know
Oh my
that.
god, that reminds
Canceled,
me of
automatically
the Try
canceled.
Guys thing last year.
I
or
say no
whatever.
cancel.
I don't respect cheating at all. Canceled.
Well, I don't
I've
respect
never
cheating
seen a
either, but I
single
don't think
thing.
that cheating
Oh,
is
he was
the
in the new
same thing.
Borderlands movie.
He was in a Borderlands movie?
Yeah.
That's
he-
no,
Oh,
don't.
it's coming out next year.
That's not what you want to look at for Kevin Hart. You don't Borderlands movie.
He's in the Borderlands movie.
You want to see
That
his
is-
stand-up comedy, his amazing.
He's in a lot
Movies.
of movies. He's really famous.
You ever seen Jumanji?
Yeah, he's in
Jumanji
Jumanji
1,
with
2.
Jack Black.
I'm gonna go
yeah.
ahead and say it. I don't think all of us
And
know
The
a whole
Rock.
lot about Kevin Hart for him to be canceled.
I forgot they were doing a Borderlands movie.
My
though. I'm
opinion,
excited
cheating
about
is really
that.
bad.
Since y'all
I
know
wanna
about it.
cancel him.
was gonna
I don't
say-
know anything about Kevin Hart.
Okay, we're
I
just- we're
think
just skip
cheating is
Kevin.
deplorable though, so I'm gonna say cancel just for
Cheating's
posterity's sake.
awful.
Washington Redskins. I'm
Oh
gonna say,
yeah, I brought these up earlier.
I'm
Cancel.
gonna say no cancel.
No.
I mean, they changed their name, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, just go through
What's the new
rebranding.
name?
Rebranding.
Yeah, what are they called?
They
now?
were the Washington football team, which is stupid. Now they're the Washington Commanders.
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 I don't know. I think that sounds a little more imposing. I think that's a change.
I
for the
love
better.
I love the logo and like the red. I loved it. I don't know. Maybe because is Redskin is the name, is that like a
Well, the movie Peter
It's the
Pan,
same.
came, like the
Derogatory
animated
term or
Disney one,
something?
came
Is
under
that-
fire for the same thing, where it was like depicting them as like the Redskins, kind of like
Wait,
savages.
what are
It's-
you talking about? What did you say?
I said the Peter Pan, like the Disney Peter Pan movie, the animated one. They had the group of like the Native Americans in there, and it was like a whole thing because they were like actually painted red and depicted as like savages, and it goes back to a bunch of stereotypes and a bunch of really like things about Native Americans.
yeah what yeah
So like I said, I understand why
Smoking and
people
everything.
were like mad about that. Like Native Americans were always kind of being like, "Hey, this isn't cool. Like, can we not actually do this, Washington Redskins, please?" And it took a while for them to like acknowledge it and be like, "Yeah," but like again, I think Commanders is like a cooler name, to be honest. I think it's more imposing.
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, now that you talk about it, I guess I think I would change it to cancel just because football, the mascots, they're supposed to be like fearing, like they're like, that's the mascot, right? So if you're saying Redskins is the mascot, that's kind of implying that the Redskins are like the Indian people. The Indians were like these savages, like you said, and which wasn't the case. So that is definitely
My opinion
portraying a picture of them that's not valid.
I don't think they were trying to be racist at all. I don't think they were trying to. I mean,
No.
my
No,
thing
but I
is,
think
no,
like,
no one-
if,
No, but I think
Very
when things are
much
based
tried.
in
if
like
they were
extreme
trying,
stereotypes,
if
it's
they're
okay to ask
trying
people to
be
change it.
racist,
Yeah.
if they're trying to be racist, then yes. But
You just gotta be
they
correct,
probably just
politically
didn't
correct.
Understand
I don't think it's
the
necessarily a
impact of it.
cancelable thing. I don't think it's like on that level of whatever. But like
Yeah.
asking them to change it, I don't think it's unreasonable.
No,
Yeah.
no,
They
Yeah, I
changed it,
agree.
so-
They,
Different.
they should have gone
Changing
to,
it and canceling is
rebranding
something
was the
totally
right move. Rebranding was the right
Yeah.
move.
This is Kelly's dude. She
Kelly's dude.
Who?
What did I say? I can't remember what I said.
I don't know this dude's name. I
What
have a
did you
picture
just
of him.
say?
It's a dude.
It's
with
Kelly's
hair,
dude.
Like,
He's a white
Stupid
dude with
hair.
a beard.
I'm not.
Not a beard. Like he
bro,
could
Kelly,
grow a
you can just
beard.
get up and look over this
I'm
monitor.
Working and working.
This is your guy. You're gonna talk all about him.
Oh,
Got, like,
Matty
blue.
Healy.
Who is
The
this?
Matty Healy stuff is so funny to me. He's the lead singer of the 1975.
Oh.
Basically,
Oh yeah.
the dude's an ass.
And why is that?
So are a lot
He
of
just
lead
says
singers.
a lot of really stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a whole thing because Taylor Swift had a long-term boyfriend, I guess, and all of her fans like adored him, and they broke up. And pretty immediately, it was reported that she was apparently dating Matty Healy of the 1975. Personally, I was very, very, very on board with this, because the best song the 1975 ever put out was after Matty Healy broke up after a long-term relationship with Halsey. The Sound by the 1975.
I didn't know that.
Hands down their best song. It's about Halsey.
That's funny.
It's their best song. I wanted the music that the two of these people would write about each other. I wanted them to have a long, prosperous, maybe a little bit toxic relationship so that way everyone could benefit from the two albums that would drop from that after they broke up. But no, her fans were just immediately, they were like, he's a racist, he's awful, we're gonna cancel him, and we're gonna cancel Taylor Swift because she's dating him and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, what is happening? And like, objectively speaking, right, okay, there are a couple things that Matty Healy has done that I'm firmly in the camp of like, okay, well, that wasn't cool, dude, maybe don't do that again. They have a song, oh my god, I can't remember what it's called. Oh my god,
So
I
why?
can't remember what it's called, but there's a line in it that says like, thank you, Kanye, very cool. And at one of their concerts, Matty Healy, during that line, after Kanye said some of that really anti-Semitic stuff and was kind of weird for a few months about that, when he said the line, thank you, Kanye, very cool, he did a Nazi salute, which like, under no circumstances, even as a joke, should anyone be doing a Nazi salute. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
It's
That
kind
was
of
weird.
It's kind of weird. What is the song titled now? It's
So he
bothering
got
me.
canceled because he was doing a Nazi salute. Is pretty much what
There
you're
were
getting.
some
Yeah.
people. It wasn't really like cancelable. People were just like, "Hey, dude, that's weird. Please don't do it again." And then he didn't do it again.
I still want to cancel him. Just because, why
He
not?
just has a very cancelable face.
I have the power to cancel
the
someone,
blue
so why
hair.
I
not?
don't think I know enough about him. Well, if he Nazi saluted, and, if
Cancel.
that, and he
It was
knew
a joke, though.
But it was, is it? You don't joke about that though, especially on the media like that, bro. Ooh, maybe if you're a joke about that, maybe like by yourself with like your friends, whatever you want to
Yeah, I
do,
guess
but not
that's-
in front of thousands
I
of
don't
people
know.
who listen to your music.
Love it if we made it. That's the name of the song.
I personally like
Okay.
to take the stance of if this was a regular person, would we really do this much to them?
No, because he's not a public figure. He doesn't have influence. This guy has influence.
I would
That's
like
that alone.
I would like to propose that we cancel him, if only because he's British and doesn't enunciate any of his words. It is hard to decipher the lyrics in any of those
So
songs.
just
Really?
don't even
So
cancel
anyway.
him for Nazi saluting. Just not. That's totally fine.
I want to cancel him because he's British. I think that's
Isn't
valid.
that racist?
That is racist.
Technically,
Are you
it would be
racist?
nationalist.
It's still.
It's not racist because he's also white. I'm
so
white. He's
we're
white.
gonna cancel Kelly now.
Yeah.
Wow, you're
I'd
doing
vote
that
for
because I'm a
canceling.
woman?
All right, run out
Yes,
of time.
you're
We're out of time.
racist.
We're out of time. Hey, one more. What, so cancel or no cancel? Cancel or no cancel?
No,
Cancel.
cancel.
Okay.
Cancel.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no.
What about Dan Schneider?
Cancel.
Feet.
Cancel.
He likes feet.
Cancel.
He likes
Cancel.
little
He
kids'
was weird
feet,
with
bro.
kids.
Cancel
He was
him.
weird with
What
kids.
was the issue? With
Listen to
Dan
Jeanette
Schneider?
McCurdy.
He is known
Is known.
to be too close to children that were on his set.
Oh.
Have
Like
you ever
Victorious.
watched Victorious?
They even
There's
talk
a lot
about
of
it.
weird stuff in there, and it's all Dan Schneider's fault.
Yep. You remember iCarly when there was like a scene where everyone's feet
But
has
that's
ketchup
what
on
everyone
it?
liked, though. That's what everyone.
No,
liked.
No.
Wait
it
a
was
minute.
funny, not like.
No,
just
it was
funny,
always
though.
just
Weird stuff was
mildly
funny.
uncomfortable.
It was kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was always weird.
This is why I was a Disney Channel kid.
Nickelodeon go hard though.
Nickelodeon
Maybe
does
I
go
lied.
hard. I will say, the Big Time Rush TV show, peak fiction.
I love Victoria's
was
TV
good.
show.
I saw Big Time Rush in concert before they broke up, and I want to see them in concert
Wow.
again right now.
They're
'cause
back
they're
together.
They're touring,
They're
and it's
back
making
together. They're back
You gotta
together.
watch it.
I will say there's a video of them
uh,
singing "I'm Just Ken"
oh.
from the Barbie movie. It's peak. It's peak. And no, it's anywhere else I'd be a 10.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, I
more
think
outside
without a
feet.
doubt, it's definitely gonna be canceled. I think all of us can agree it's cancel.
Cancel.
Yeah.
I want Dan Schneider
And if it would be one,
nowhere near children.
it would be
ever
one thing
again.
if it was just like a rumor, but like multiple.
or if it was like one off on like one of the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was all of them.
And multiple cast members have reported him
Oh yeah.
being close. What's her name? The
Jeanette McCurdy,
yeah, she
the one from the Sam from iCarly.
yeah, she was really like
and she
open about it.
she just had the book come out, which like is part of what brought Dan
Oh,
Schneider like
yeah.
under a lot of recent fire. He favored Ariana Grande. Speaking of which, people are trying to cancel Ariana Grande right now.
What?
because there's that whole like SpongeBob musical thing, and the lead guy, he was married, and Ariana is apparently a little bit of a homewrecker, and people were like, okay, if it was like this one time, it would be kind of like, but like it's kind of like a reoccurring pattern of events. I don't know. I'm not an Ariana fan, but like
Ariana
it's a
has
it's
some
a
great
whole-
perfume now. I'll tell you that.
True. Cloud is insane.
So good.
It's so good.
I don't know why I like it so much. I just do. I can tell when a girl's
Honestly,
wearing it.
It's just like a simple
I'm like,
vanilla fragrance, and it's a classic, and it's very well made. It's long. I know way too much about the Ariana Grande perfumes.
There you go. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for a little discussion. Pretty much this whole episode was just discussing
Cancel.
Nice long talk.
discussing people and if they should be canceled or not. However, we have around 10 minutes to spare. And with that being said, I would like to give a big goodbye to Tyler Beeson.
I'm never coming back. You're not allowed
I don't
to.
think we've ever done that on stream. I don't think we might have.
Well, we
not really.
Tyler, you
tried-
should
we
share.
tried to.
You should,
We
you should
definitely
share
tried
your
to.
most favorite and your,
Yeah.
Least
your
favorite.
most hard times here, your most
Yeah.
crazy times, your
Favorite and least favorite.
the
moment
worst
The
from this
weirdest
time.
thing that's happened. The wheelchair
the
girl.
your favorite
I just
person
laughed,
here,
laughed.
Shut up.
Too far.
the person you hate the most,
Oh.
everything.
I got
Just
that one
get
in
it all
mind.
out.
We get it. It's me.
Just get it all out.
It's because I'm a woman. I get it.
It's me too. Mine too. I'm
It's
just
because you're a ginger.
Because he's a. Hey, technically, I'm a ginger.
If you have to say
Where?
technically before, you're not a ginger.
Yeah. Where?
My beard.
You are a ginger, aren't you?
Yeah, if you look in the sunlight, my hair
Wait,
is
tilt your head
definitely-
up. Okay, I kind of see it.
But
in
is
the
it like
lighting.
this
It's
red?
it's
like-
definitely not as red as Randon. Definitely not nearly as close as Randon.
But my eyebrows are black, so.
I have blonde. You have black eyebrows?
Those aren't black. They're just like brown.
They're like
They're
dark.
definitely
Not
darker.
I
than...
never really noticed. You don't really have eyebrows.
I have blonde
They're
eyebrows.
very, very light.
I have blonde eyebrows.
They're like non-existent.
They're blonde.
They're like unicorns.
They're blonder than Travis's hair.
Yep.
yeah.
I used to have blonde eyebrows. Couldn't even see them. I look stupid. But
He got them tattooed on.
changed. They got darker. They got darker.
All right, Tyler, tell us who you hated the most here.
Yeah.
Who I hated the most. I'm not gonna say that.
What about love the most? No, I'm just kidding. That's favoritism.
Honestly, I like.
It's Alien.
I just really.
We all know it's
enjoy-
Alien.
Oh yeah, Alien. I definitely didn't like
I
enjoy
hate
working with
Alien.
Alien. Alien
I have
was
such a frenemy relationship
Alien
with
was
Alien.
a problem child so often, and Roswell gave me some issues too. Actually,
A lot of back talking.
yeah, a lot of back talking.
What
He has a superiority complex.
the question today is what is your favorite YouTuber and explain yourself. Why is that your favorite YouTuber?
What if I say the YouTuber I'm supposed to be interviewing with? Will you favor me better if I direct him this way? I'm not gonna do that.
So
My favorite YouTuber, I don't know.
PewDiePie.
God no.
Ryan's World.
It's the artist it's like Neatrix. And she does art and little bits of animation, and it's like this kind of dark gothic, but it also has like humor to it too. So
Whimsigoth.
kinda.
Yeah.
So it's either one or the other or a little mix of both. Like she did like a Pokemon series, but with Dark Souls. Like what if Pokemon was in
I've
Dark
seen
Souls?
those.
Really?
I've seen those. Like on Twitter, yeah.
Yeah. She's like skeleton with a.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
She's,
okay.
She's,
I know who you're talking
she's
about.
semi-famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been following her for a while now, and she's it's
think I
comedic and funny, and I just really enjoy watching it.
That's fair.
Interesting.
Mine is a video essayist named Noah Caldwell. Hyphenated last names get me. Hang on. I'm subscribed to him, so let me just find it really fast as soon as it loads. It's like Noah Caldwell something. Hang on.
I forgot I got slapped by this dude in the seventh grade.
Noah Caldwell Gervais. He's got like 250,000 followers, but he's got some of my absolute favoritist videos on the entire platform.
Your favoritist?
Favoritist.
Nice.
He's got a 7.5 hour entire retrospective on the entirety of the Resident Evil franchise. It came out before the 4 remake came out earlier this year, so it doesn't include that one. But like the video is one of the most well thought out pieces of media I've ever seen, or like a retrospective kind of essay thing that I've ever read. Like I've read professionally like published things, and like even still this one just feels more thought out, but it's also like humorous. He's also got the like cadence of someone who took like debate or speech in high school, and he talks in a very specific way that is just very pleasing to listen to. And he just put out like a 10-hour video on like the Fallout series. I'm having way too good of a time. I've watched the Resident Evil one like several times. Like I said, I think it's one of the best pieces, like
wonder how
videos that are
long it
like
takes him.
7 hours
on.
long,
I
dude.
wonder
That's
how long
crazy.
it takes him to make that.
He goes
Couple
months.
months.
He goes months in
Yeah,
between posts and
that's
everything like that.
crazy.
But like they're good videos. I would recommend that. Or the more basic answer would be Quentin Reviews. He's the guy that's doing all the retrospectives on like old Nickelodeon shows, which is why I know a little bit more about Dan Schneider now
yeah.
than I did. He's got like I think it's like 8 hours on iCarly, 13 on Victorious, and
Dang.
he's got like 3 separate videos on Sam and Cat, which are like shaping up to be almost 20 hours in length, and also a 3-hour Fred video. And I do like the Fred video a lot. He's kind of going through like the
Fred.
Nickelodeon sitcom universe.
I totally forgot about Fred. He was so wow.
Well,
Annoying Orange,
He was
Annoying
a
Orange?
YouTuber. He was a YouTuber
yeah, he was a
first.
YouTuber, then
He's
had
still on
his
YouTube.
own show.
Is he?
Yeah.
Good. He's
Fred
doing
isn't
the
his
same
real
thing.
name, but it's like the guy.
Yeah.
He's just on YouTube.
He just talked in that really high pitched voice, right?
Yeah.
Was he the Annoying Orange?
No.
No. So
There was a crossover between the two, though.
Yeah. I
yeah.
remember.
which one came first? Because I remember like
Annoying Orange.
it was Annoying Orange.
Yeah.
Because I remember
I used
like
to love watching Annoying Orange.
No,
Me too.
Fred was one of the most. It was one of the first like YouTube channels and it was like the most popular YouTube channel for like a while when the
Yeah.
platform first started. So I think it actually was Fred that came first.
No. But I mean like which one was picked up to be a television series? First?
Oh, Fred.
It was Fred.
Yeah.
Okay.
Annoying Orange, man, was so good on YouTube.
Oh, I forgot Annoying Orange was
There was a
TV
TV
show.
show.
That was trash, though.
It was like as
OG
soon as
is the
it was
best.
like as soon as
Really
Fred
good
was
one.
picked up, Annoying Orange was picked up on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, so now we're just turning YouTubers into television series now.
That didn't work out.
It did not work out, and I
It was
didn't
a-
like
it was
it.
Fred
a-
had Fred
I
had
did
his
not
own
like-
movies. He had,
Jake
like,
Paul
No,
had-
the
he did-
movies
he
were
had his
actually
own
pretty.
movies
Like
and
not
TV
the
shows.
not the second and third one. The second and third one were kind of not great, but the first one was actually like surprisingly like a
I
good
remember
movie.
Yeah,
one
it
about a
actually was.
vampire.
That was the second
That was the
one.
second one. That's the only one I remember.
It was the second and third one.
It
John
only had
Cena was a
Treehouse.
dad.
John Cena.
John Cena was his dad. Yeah.
He like
Oh
lived in a
yeah, I
refrigerator.
forgot about that.
Just
I
always
think it's
appeared
really
out of-
funny because John Cena wasn't originally supposed to be in the movie. He just really liked the kid who was playing Fred and thought that he was some sort of visionary in terms of like media making and was like, I really believe in what this kid's doing. I admire his passion. And then he just wanted to be in the movie because he wanted to support him. And honestly, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, John Cena's in like everywhere. He was in Overwatch. He was in.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was in a marketing technique for Overwatch.
Is it weird that I think of what's the movie
I mean, you can't really see him that well, but
he's the DC hero with the gun.
Oh,
did anyone get
Peacemaker.
that joke? Wow.
He's on Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, yeah.
Yeah, Peacemaker. There's
Yeah.
something about like the
Fast and Furious.
Peacemaker that I have seen. I haven't seen a lot, but just reminds me of
Sometimes he just
John
like
Cena in Fred.
How about you, Randon?
No,
No?
they're
Sometimes
not
he
even remotely the
disappears.
same.
Random.
It's more about the comedic factor.
Oh,
the
Who's your
comedic
favorite
factor
YouTuber?
of
Okay,
it.
yeah, I can-
Not
yeah.
necessarily like the character themselves, but like
Yeah.
how they set up
People
their
did
joke.
try to cancel John Cena for a while because there was a whole thing because like all the situation with like China and Hong Kong and
Oh,
Yeah.
he interviewed.
how you can't even see him, bro. You can't even see John Cena.
Yeah, I'm
bro.
gonna cancel him.
You can't
Brandon.
cancel
You
someone you
Brandon.
can't
Can't
see.
see him.
Brandon.
How'd you even
put
recognize
the headphones down and walk out of the room.
But my favorite YouTube is hello everyone. This is your daily dose of internet.
Oh,
You
what's
don't
his
know.
name?
It's literally just daily dose of internet.
Okay.
Daily
You don't, you've never heard of that? Daily dose.
No.
What? When you
To be fair, you've never heard of mine.
you will
guy's
not
huge,
stop
though.
watching. Daily Dose of Internet has like 10 million subscribers. It's crazy.
Okay.
But I
PewDiePie
recommend
has like 500
this
million.
guy-
I've never subscribed to him.
this guy is really cool. It's literally just random internet clips, and it's like a 3-minute long video, and you can sit there for hours scrolling. And
That sounds
wow,
almost
that's
like
cool.
Equals 3.
It's
I used to
really cool.
love Equals 3
Dude, I love
with Ray
Equals-
William Johnson.
Yeah.
Ray William Johnson,
I don't
man.
remember that.
You don't?
Corey,
the
do y'all know
early-
Corey
It was
Kenshin?
like early. It
Corey
was
Kenshin's a good
kind
YouTuber.
of revolutionary at its time.
It was.
Because like that was the early like reaction kind of
No
video.
one, and it was done right too.
It was good.
Gabriel Iglesias would come on sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, Fluffy.
Yeah.
There were
I
a couple.
love
There were a
Fluffy.
couple times. It was weird, but it was good. It was funny.
Anyways,
What's your
my favorite YouTuber. Dang, you made me look back.
Mr. Beast.
I gotta say, my favorite YouTuber of all time that I've watched and had the best experience with was Smosh.
Oh,
Oh,
Smosh.
yeah.
When they
like
at
old
peak-
I'm
school
actually
Smosh, old
really
school
happy they
Smosh.
have the intellectual property back now. They brought it back from Red and Link.
Was it Red and Link?
Yeah, I think it was Red and Link.
I
but-
love them too.
Yeah, they bought it back. They're getting back together because what is it? Anthony Padilla left for a while. But
Yeah.
like he and Ian got back together. They're like revitalizing it, and like I'm happy that they're like the two of them are getting back to things. I'm happy that they have the intellectual property back. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, for sure. It's because pretty much Smosh turned into like something that's not even theirs no more.
Yeah, there was all those extra people, and then they had the Smosh Gaming channel, which was like a completely separate group of people. But I'm not mad about that because I actually did like the Smosh Gaming channel.
Well, anyways, guys, that was our episode of Cruising the Planet today.
Wait, honorary shout out to Markiplier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Markiplier.
a good YouTuber.
I had a
Markiplier's good.
friend who worked
Like
on
his
his
5 minutes
Markiplier in
birdies.
space.
Dude, that's awesome.
Make sure to go ahead and follow
He's-
us on our
he's gotta
socials.
become
The
really
Planet
like
100.7 on Instagram, which
Air
we're most
horn.
active. Facebook as well. And so, with that being said, we are live every Thursday. Yeah, every Thursday. No,
No.
every Wednesday is
Yep.
my bad, guys. New time. Every Wednesday is at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. So make sure to catch us next Wednesday. And yeah.
Without Tyler.
Without
Yay.
Tyler.
Oh, wait,
Finally.
oh no.
I know you finally got.
It'll be Tyler's
Oh.
replacement.
How tragic.
It'll be Jake. It'll be Jake, the new Tyler.
No! God, please, no! No!
Is there one like that's like a cheer? We can cheer that Tyler's gone.
That would.
Wait till I
get my money.
Hold on. Do it again. Wait till I get my money right.
Is this what
All right,
a
guys.
stroke feels like?
Oh,
See you next time.
bye bye.